Thank you. Well, that's what we're going to do for the next 45 minutes. So, Takeoff, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Today I have my friend, the wonderful Rachel Bonades in the building.
Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Manny. I'm coming to you live from Worcester, the headquarters of Manny J Medias. We're at 54 Medias. Where did that come from? 55 Pearl Street in Worcester. Come on down here because not only am I here, but they got some great Puerto Rican food down. So y'all like Puerto Rican food?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some arroz con gandules, some pernil, some tostones, all kind of great Spanish food. I'm telling you, it's good. And then they got some great drinks. They got some frozen drinks since it's like, it's going to be 80 degrees outside.
Yeah. Perfect day for that.
Beautiful
today.
day. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Come get yourself some nice frozen drinks. Get yourself feeling real nice. It's a Saturday, so why not? Let's do it. Shout out to Natalie Rodriguez. We appreciate you so much for having us here. Also, I want to shout out our media partners from Vidya Marketing and also the 21st Entertainment. Look around. A lot of this is due to our great media partners. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the microphone setups, the lighting, the cameras. We really, really appreciate you. And of course, my bestie. I love her so much. Yeah. Charcuterie by Charisse, one of my biggest supporters, one of my biggest people behind me who just coaches me and drives me, and she doesn't take my shirt on. She's amazing, but we love her. Thank you so much. Charcuterie by Charisse. Go look her up on Instagram, Facebook. Just how it sounds. Charcuterie by Charisse. Cherise. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate you. And of course, I got you. I love you, man. I was getting there. Of course, we can't forget the man, Jeff Torres. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for believing in us and sponsoring us. Jeff Torres of PIA. Go look it up. Jeff Torres on Facebook. You'll find him. Amazing guy, doing a lot of amazing things for the community. And of course, we have today our special guest. So I'm so excited to be here. Cannabis of Worcester. We have Steve. We have Gary. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you today?
We're excellent. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's so amazing to have you. We actually, me and my homie, we went to go visit you guys the other day because, we got a lot of behind the scenes things to take care of. I had to do some things. And I had no clue that I'd be meeting such amazing guys. And I can't wait to talk about all the things that you have going on in the community.
For sure.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I had no idea you guys existed till I found out you existed. And good Lord, where was I and why didn't I find out sooner? So we're going to talk about more of that. But you do have some events coming up that I want to make sure that everybody on our live gets to hear about right now. What's going on?
Well, thanks, Manny, for having us, first of all. So we got the block party event coming up on Saturday, 5/20.
That's my birthday, May 20th. So that block party is also my birthday party.
That's right. We'll change the name to Manny's block party.
I'm going to be there. Can we get an edible cake?
Yeah.
We
can work on that.
No, John. John's giving me the no. But yeah, so you have the block party, and what's going to happen there?
So we got food trucks. We're going to have music, DJ, little live music. We got vendor pop-ups from 7 or 8 different cannabis companies.
Right.
And the biggest thing for us is we're going to have great prices that day. I think we have our prices right now. We're the best in the area, and we're doing a 5/20 sale. So just to give you an example, you come in, you buy 5 Camino gummies, you're going to get them for $100, which comes out to $20 a piece.
$20 a piece.
$20 a piece.
That's to match your birthday.
Exactly.
That's
right.
So come celebrate my birthday. Get yourself feeling real nice. 5 for 20. 5 for 20. 5 for 20.
You buy 5, you get them at $20.
420.
It's like a bundle pack. We're extending the 420 holiday to 520, and it's a play on words.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
5
right?
Ends up being $20 a pop. We're gonna have 7 or 8 specific promotional items, I guess you'd call it, for that day, for 11 to 7 p.m., 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.,
You buy a deal, you get to eat for free. We'll give you a ticket so you can go take the food truck and take advantage of the food truck. They'll be outside.
Right.
We're going to have vendor giveaways. Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys are going to have this fantastic merch, right?
Merch,
Check out this shit. You got the city skyline back there. Wait. The best is on the back. Hey.
Hell yeah.
You know how we do. So anyway, we're going to have a great time. That's all y'all get for now. Sneak peek. If you want to see the rest, tune in on Wednesday. One of these Wednesdays. May 24th. Thank you. I love you, man. May 24th. We can't do it May 24th. Oh my God. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Well, it's alive. It doesn't matter. We're good. listen, welcome to the live, people. I'm still trying to figure shit out. Where was I? Y'all can't see that. We got to cut off now, right? We're going to record. If you want to check it out, Wednesday, May 24th, you can see the full, beautifully edited by the 21st Entertainment version. We're going to have a great time for now. It's been great seeing you. I'm Manny.
I'm Gary.
I'm Steve.
Cannabis of Worcester. We'll see y'all real soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Well, that's what we're going to do for the next 45 minutes. So, Takeoff, tell me a little bit about that.
InnerViews. Today I have my friend, the wonderful Rachel Bonades in the building. Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? And welcome to another exciting episode of InnerViews. I'm your boy, Manny, and I'm so happy to be joined today by Steven and Gary of Cannabis of Worcester. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Thanks
I'm
for
so
having us,
happy to
Manny.
have you. Of course.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
It's so great to have you. And before I get started, I do want to give a special shout out to our sponsors. Thank you so much for everything you do. Starting with Jeff Torres of PIA. Go look him up on Instagram, Facebook, and he does have a website as well. I think it's soldbyjt.com. I could be wrong, but go look him up on Facebook. You definitely get it there. Also, I wanted to thank Nuestra for hosting us. Manny J Media headquarters is located here at 55 Pearl Street in Worcester. Such an amazing opportunity to be here at the historic Bull Mansion. So thank you, Natalie. We appreciate you. Look her up on Instagram and Facebook as well. And come here, get some bomb Puerto Rican food and some great drinks. I'm telling you, they make them strong down there. And our media sponsors, Vidya, Chris, thank you so much for all you do. And shout out to the 21st Entertainment for everything you do as well. And of course, I have to shout out some of my own homies, some of my own biggest supporters. They keep me going every day in the backgrounds. My bestie, Charcuterie by Charisse. I love you so much. That's Charcuterie by Cherise. You can look her up on Facebook, Instagram, and she has a website as well, which you can find all that information on one of her socials. Also, I gotta, talk about this amazing, beautiful hat that I'm rocking. Heartwear by Abby Cotto. You can find them on social media at HW by Abby, ABBIE COTTO. They got hats, they got shirts, slides, bags, amazing things for purchase right now. Make sure you get over there and get all your heartwear. And also his music. You'll get a nice sneak peek of his music there as well. And last but not least, I want to thank Takeoff Inc. for everything you guys do as well. Amazing people we got out there supporting the show and the efforts here at Manny J Media. Thank you guys so much for being patient with all these people.
Thanks for
We got
having
so
us.
many people
That's
rocking
awesome.
with us. That's pretty
great.
cool.
It's
Yeah, so many
you.
people
It's
believe in
great.
us. We thank
A
you
lot
so
of credit
much.
to you.
Yeah, thank you. But enough about them. We're here about you. Cannabis of Worcester.
Yeah, let's go.
Bro, I came to the shop the other day. And first of all, I love the colors, the yellow and
The
black,
yellow, black.
giving me big Wu-Tang vibes. You guys Wu-Tang fans?
That's right. Yeah, I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah. I mean, I love. Do I have that same?
Yes,
I
you
do have that same font. Yo,
Yeah.
Gary, you the man. I got you. That's a good font. It's a dope shirt. I love the
really is.
merch.
We're embracing the city. So like everything that we do is, about Worcester. And I think the logo clearly shows it with the, the historic buildings around the city. So
Absolutely.
The skyline pays
Is Bull
tribute.
Mansion on here?
Yeah.
So you guys are actually located on Millbrook Street in Worcester.
56 Millbrook Street.
56
correct.
Millbrook.
Yep.
Nice. Little tucked away back there. Actually, You're right up the hill from
Greater Good.
Well, we don't want to say y'all got to sponsor us. I don't want to say, but you got a lot of good munchies around the area. Is my point.
Yeah, there's a pretty popular pizza place right down the road from us. A good brewery, local brewery, so you kind of can get it all in one stop, and a pretty famous fast food. I'd call
yes.
it.
Well,
at the end of the road. Yeah. So we're in a pretty good area. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So when did you guys get started here in Worcester?
Steve, tell them that it's been a journey. But
it's been a long journey. Yeah, both of us have kind of been doing different things in and around cannabis for almost 3 years now.
At least, probably 3 years.
And we've been hustling, fighting to get that right opportunity, and this was kind of the first shot we've had, and we put everything, blood, sweat, and tears in to open this place, and hopefully it shows when you come in. I mean, we put a lot of time, effort, work into the way the store is designed, laid out. Hopefully you saw it, took advantage of the bud wall when you were there.
That wall is amazing. I could have spent all day at that wall.
It's amazing.
How do you make a choice? You have I don't know, how many buds do you have up there?
It's almost 60, 55, I believe.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and then 5 concentrate on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's something for everyone.
It really is. It's unbelievable.
The other thing is your bud tenders. They're amazing.
Well, that was part of it. We didn't, it wasn't just to build out the flower, the selection. It was picking the right people. We're really employee focused first, which in turn creates a great vibe with the customer. So we really take a lot of care and pride into taking care of our employees. And again, in turn, that's going to take care of our customers. It kind of goes hand in hand. So we really put in a big focus on hiring the right people. And you never know what you're really getting at first, but I think we hit a home run.
Yeah, no, you absolutely did.
Incredible staff.
We came in, my homie and I came to visit. And as soon as we got in there, we were embraced, and people were happy to see us. And I didn't feel like they were just pushing to sell me something. They were really welcoming me and making me feel comfortable. And, for a lot of people can be like an uncomfortable environment. Right. There's a big stigma still on marijuana.
Absolutely there is. Yeah. We learned a lot, believe it or not, from all our interviews. We personally sat, with all of our employees. We interviewed every person that works there. And we basically obtained more knowledge than I ever thought I could get, meaning from people that work different aspects of the retail marijuana field. And we brought all of that knowledge and compiled it to the point you're making about people, walking in. We don't want to overpressure them. We're not just trying to upsell you. We're not trying to sell you something that we think you'd like. It's really, what are you looking for? What's your budget? And how can we allow you to have the best experience possible? And we truly live by that. We preach it every day. We have meetings every day about it. That's kind of our philosophy. And we encourage
people to be themselves. We obviously have a focus, and we want people to be customer focused, but we're not telling you have to say this, you have to say that, you have to do this. We want people to be naturally themselves. And I think the personalities of each individual in that store comes out when you go in there and you have a conversation with people. We have, such a diverse crew that anyone can walk in there and feel comfortable. Yeah. Whether you're a 65-year-old woman for the first time walking the dispensary or a 22-year-old that's never been in before, and everything in between. Right. There's an employee there that you can connect with and make that personal connection and feel comfortable. Don't feel like you're being, pressured or oversold or, lectured at. They're actually there because, they want to be there. They enjoy the industry. They enjoy the product themselves, and that helps sell itself.
Yeah. I mean, when I went in, I felt like I didn't know anybody there. I was a stranger, right? Yeah. But I immediately felt like I was amongst friends. Absolutely. I was just checking out the bud wall all by myself, smelling a couple, and then you had one of the bartenders, a young kid. Yeah. I shouldn't say kid. He was definitely working there.
Younger than Gary.
Younger than us. He came up to me and he's actually explaining to me how this wall works and how I can best benefit. And he wasn't saying, "Oh, get the highest milligram dosage," or get this sativa. He asked me what I like how I like to operate. There's different things for different people. Correct. So me personally, you give me indica, I'm taking a nap. Yeah. So I'm personally not a big indica. I'm more hybrid sativa. Right. Because I know it doesn't look like it, but I need the energy, people. So he explained to me exactly what the numbers meant and how I can best benefit from it. So it wasn't necessarily whether it was $22 an eighth weed or $50 an eighth weed, but it was more tailored to my style of consumption. Yeah. So I thank you guys for having people who went above and beyond to actually think about the needs of their clients.
Yeah, education's huge, and I think that there's so many different products coming out now too, like over and above flower. I mean, you have so much with with vapes and edibles, and there's different sciences that are now coming in. There's different, there's CBD, there's CBN, there's all kinds of things.
I don't understand any of that. I'm going to be real with you. I get my butt in the streets.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Right.
I've been doing that now my whole life. Remember, cannabis just became legal in this state in 2019.
Right.
So that's only 4 years out of my 39 years of existence. So for a long time, I've been getting it from the streets. And honestly, I get bud, I smoke, and I don't really think about anything beyond that.
Right.
But there is a lot to know and learn, because you can actually turn what was for me just a recreational experience into something that's very personal and actually very productive for you if you know what you're doing. Yeah. And that's something you guys offer at Cannabis of Worcester.
Yeah, it can be tailored basically to, like you said, every individual's needs. Really it's kind of a trial and error experience to a point, but once you figure it out, like you said, on the street, you may not know if you're getting the same product, which potency or sativa or hybrid or what it is. But at least when you come in any cannabis store for that matter, you're going to know, obviously it's regulated and it's strictly regulated. So you'll always know what you're getting, and the quality of it. That's one thing that's consistent. And our prices are very competitive with street prices. We've had multiple customers come in saying they feel much more comfortable now buying from us because we're only $1 or $2 more than what they'd get on the street, but they know what they're getting from us is tested, proven, and the quantity is what they're paying for. Yeah.
So, and it's safe,
That's the other part.
At one point,
correct.
I love telling the story because it matters as far as like the stigma and the criminalization of cannabis.
For sure.
Right.
I, in 2019, was pulled over. I wasn't even smoking, but full transparency, my car did smell like weed because I can't smoke where I live. So I go sit in the parking lot, smoke my butt in my car.
Yeah.
But I wasn't high or anything this day. The cops did what they did. I ended up getting arrested. And, there's just this big... I feel like there needs to be a destigma of it, so you're not looked at as a criminal.
I get what you're saying. It's still too close to that time period that experience that you had. It's still too close for a lot of people, and I think I read something recently that now 80% of Americans are pro cannabis on recreational. So I mean that's huge.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It used to be,
and a lot of
50%
professionals.
Lower. Yeah,
I know teachers, doctors, lawyers, so many people who not only smoke but smoke and drive.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you should drive impaired on anything.
Absolutely.
But there's not enough science out there to criminalize people because here's the thing that they told me. One, you need to wait at least 4 hours after you smoke. I don't know anybody that smokes and then waits 4 hours to do anything unless, you're taking the whole day off to just chill.
Right.
And if it's there for medicinal reasons and say you have to go to work, you take your medicine before work, right? You're not waiting 4 hours to go to work. So there's things like that really need to get regulated and under control as far as the laws go. But the reason why I brought this up is because when they tested me, I had heroin and opiates and cocaine, I think, in my system. Whatever. I don't do either. Right.
So it came from whatever you smoked.
And I've talked to my lawyer. I'm like, what is going on? Like, are they trying to trap me or something? No, that's not me. And so that's when he explained to me, no, there's actually trace amounts. They find it all the time in street marijuana of other drugs. And part of that is a way to get people to become return customers because they're like, oh, I like that. I like, they get a little extra high or whatever.
Exactly.
And so they want to go there. But point is, you go to Cannabis of Worcester, you don't have to worry about trace amounts of heroin and cocaine in your system.
That's actually scary.
It is scary.
It only takes one time. Well, we all know all the tragedies that's going on with the, overdosing and such. So,
and that's the biggest thing is, fentanyl is a big thing right now. People are using it as an additive to make people addicted to come back to buy more. Yeah. And it's not just medicinal that you guys do. It is recreational, and there's nothing wrong with recreation.
Right.
It's cool. Sometimes we got to take a little bit of time for ourselves, right?
Yeah. Well, even on the recreational side, a lot of people are coming in to shop for something that helps them medically. Absolutely. A lot of people are coming in for sleep. In fact, I got back into it 4 years ago for sleep. Like I was having sleeping issues and my doctor wanted to prescribe me, a sleeping pill. And it's like, I don't want to take a sleeping pill.
You don't even know what's really in it.
Yeah,
and even if they
exactly.
tell you what's in it, do you really know what that is?
Right. So I started with edibles for sleep, and we see every day that someone will come in at 8:30, 8:45, 10 o'clock at night even, that say they can't sleep. What can I take real quick to help me sleep? And so there's people who are getting turned on to the market for different reasons. It's obviously there's a social aspect of it. Like we obviously all enjoy the smoking for the social side of it, but whether it's sleep, anxiety, depression, body pains, aches, there's so many positive things that cannabis products can be used for. And people are, I don't want to say self-medicating is the wrong word probably, but in a way that they're trying to treat themselves without going and taking more prescription drugs or going back to the doctor.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up, because even with prescription drugs, I had a lot of pain for a while, and they had me on Vicodin.
Yeah.
And I noticed that over time,
One of the
the
worst.
Vicodin stopped working. And so then they have to up the dose, or even maybe change you to something stronger like Percocet.
Yeah.
And that's where you get into real danger territory. I was addicted and it was bad. And I started like really losing my mind, becoming depressed, because I'm thinking like I'm going to be stuck with this forever. And I'm never going to like get control over this. And I don't know what it's doing to my body.
Right.
With cannabis, on the other hand, it's all natural.
Right.
It's from the Mother Earth. And you don't have to smoke if you don't want to smoke. That's what edibles are for, and other ways.
Right.
You got topicals that you can use as well.
Topicals, tinctures, there's beverages.
Absolutely. We have a big seller right now. Is like we have a can of cream that's like a Bengay Tiger Bomb type product that's, all cannabis really based, and, getting rave reviews for arthritis, eczema, body aches. We have tinctures, as Steve was saying, for all different stress, anxieties. Just as it's come so far. I mean, it's a learning every day for me. I'm learning more and more. I just can't believe the products that come through the door. It's pretty insane, to be honest with you.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream's out.
For summertime.
Ice cream sandwiches. The company's doing it. Yeah.
Eventually
we got to get on that wave.
Yeah, they're going to be dry freezed ice cream sandwiches. We'll send you some over. You can take them with you. Absolutely. Yeah.
I can't wait. Listen, feel free to hit me up to be a taste tester anytime. And I got a whole crew who will be happy to join me, I'm sure. But we're going to learn more about what different products you guys are going to have and all the benefits that we can take advantage of, as well as some great events you guys coming up in just a minute. But for now, we got to take a break. You know what I'm saying? We got to
wow, that was quick.
Stretch a little bit. I know it goes by fast.
Wow, really
flies when you have
absolutely.
We got to stretch a little bit, maybe wet our whistles, and then we will be right back here on InnerViews. I'm Manny.
Steve.
I'm Gary, Cannabis of Worcester.
And we will be right back. See you soon.
Thank you. Well, that's what we're going to do for the next 45 minutes. So, Takeoff, tell me a little bit about that.
Today I have my friend, the wonderful Rachel Bonades in the building. Hey, yo, what's good, everybody, and welcome back to InnerViews. I'm here with my guys from Cannabis of Worcester, Steven and Gary. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're having a great time.
Thanks for having us. Yeah,
absolutely.
You guys are great. Everybody's great.
Thank you. I have an amazing crew. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all y'all back there for being here. Thank you. I really, we couldn't do this without them. I mean, we did do it without them, but it never looked this good or sounded this good. So, but speaking of how people we can't do without, I want to shout out to a couple more of our sponsors, from Jeff Torres with PIA. Thank you so much for all you do, my brother. Nuestra 55 Pearl Street in Worcester. Amazing Puerto Rican cuisine here in Worcester, and get yourself some fly drinks too. Come on down. They're open Wednesday through Monday. Get yourself some bomb food and great company too. And shout out to our media sponsors, Vidya. Chris, thank you for everything you do. And the 21st Entertainment, we appreciate you as well. And of course, I have to mention Charcuterie by Charisse. If you need charcuterie, bro, go check out her. I didn't even know what charcuterie was until I knew what charcuterie was. And I'm telling you right now, it's a thing. It's good. You
I saw the pictures on her social. It's
amazing.
ridiculous what she made. Like I saw
crazy.
some of the
Can't wait to experience.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And so I always tell everything. I get to help her. Do you hear my mouth watering right now? So part of helping her.
I'm trying to help you out.
No, listen.
Yeah, we'll
I'm a
join
big
you.
help
Trust me.
'cause
Yeah.
I mean, I get to tell her whether people are gonna like it or not. Right?
Right,
So
right.
I think you and I are the same.
and
health.
I know food. Look down. Where are we going? Just talk. The paper. Oh yeah, was I doing that the whole time? Ah, shit. My bad, guys. Yeah, we're working. And also a big shout out to Heartwear by Abby Cotto. That's the hat I'm wearing. But he also has a lot of other things, from shirts to slides to purses. Great brand, and brings basically art and culture, bringing them together. And also shout out to Takeoff Inc. We appreciate you as well. But today we have Cannabis of Worcester, and this show is all about you today and learning a little bit, not only about what it is you guys do, because I think everybody's pretty familiar by now what a dispensary is. Obviously, it's a place where you can go and get your weed, or I shouldn't say weed, cannabis, right? That's the appropriate term.
It was bud when I was growing up, and I get corrected all the time.
Bud,
It's
flower,
now
weed,
flower,
yeah.
What about? I'm always curious. Like, wasn't like back in the 70s or whatever? Didn't they call it dope?
Listen,
That's not the same now.
No, absolutely.
It's not dope anymore. I didn't know. What you
We
guys
could do
thought
a
about
separate podcast on the history of marijuana. Probably that would be an interesting.
the demonization of marijuana.
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole history of marijuana in the United States and the criminalization of it is just wild to me.
It's pretty
The whole
insane.
drug
The
war
whole
in
war
general.
on drugs, the 80s. Yeah, there's a whole
Crazy,
story.
crazy.
We could spend an hour on that.
Yeah, we sure can. But we don't have an hour. Time flies when we're having fun. So we got to make sure that we use our time wisely here today. Before we were talking about a lot of the things that Cannabis of Worcester offers, and touched a little bit on the stigma of cannabis. So before we get back into some of the things that you offer, I wanted to talk about the stigma more, because we want to destigmatize it so that everybody can take advantage of the great things that Cannabis of Worcester has to offer, as far as especially medicinally, because it does help a lot of people. One thing I noticed is in the Latino community, those are my people. Shout out to you. I love you. Puerto Rico, Cuba, DR. We love you all. Damn, I'm probably getting in trouble for leaving some of y'all out, but I love y'all anyway. There's a big religious community. There's a lot of people like me. I believe in God and all that good stuff, and I don't really take the word for word.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people out there who, they're raised to not necessarily indulge in sins of the flesh, and sometimes alcohol or cannabis can be considered one of those things.
Sure.
For sure.
What do you think about that?
That's a super tough question. You set
Loaded.
it up. You set it up well though.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's tough because there's a lot of people who to your point, there's people who don't drink and don't smoke. That's a whole different animal. There's a lot of people who are taking prescription drugs and drinking, then yet still have that stigma related to cannabis. And those people need to do some more research, reading, and realizing, the root of the plant. I guess the pun. Root of the plant. But kind of the origin, where it's coming from, how it is helping medicinally, and what it does to your body. That alcohol is a whole different drug, right? We all know what alcohol can do to people and how that can ruin people's lives. And I think that people need to look at that alcohol versus, cannabis. But to your point of, with the religious, it's such a tough fine line when you talk about religion, how people are brought up. We're obviously not trying to, to promote anything. We're not trying to push anyone into any different, particular direction. But again, I think people need to do their research and understand what it is. There's such a stigma that's come from the 70s and the 80s. We were just talking, I think, off camera about the war on drugs, the Reagan years and everything that went on, all the criminalization that's gone on for years and years. And that's kind of what's implanted in people's heads. And that's not what cannabis is. And that's not what this market and industry is today. Right. It's not about a war on drugs. It's about, people using, responsibly and socially. And that other medical side of it is huge. And I think in the next 10 years, people will be shocked at the technology and the science of cannabis and what it's actually going to do to help people. And I think on that, back to that religious thing, I think that as the government embraces it more, as the people embrace it more, as science and technology embraces it more, you'll see more people benefiting from it. And that will bring more people to the side of being pro-cannabis.
And I think that's why it's so important that we all do have these conversations, especially us in the media. I think it's our responsibility to share with the public. There's regular people, hardworking people like you and I, people with great intentions, who are doing great work in the community, for the community. And it's not just a bunch of deviants sitting around, getting high, eating bonbons all day, looking to do the next nefarious activity.
Yeah. It's the total opposite. Yeah. The demographics are not what people, uneducated people would think. It's like you said, the potential street person, however you want to define that person, the low income person that, is looking for trouble or doesn't work or doing whatever, but we're the total opposite. We're all mostly blue collar people, come in, professionals. You already said it, teachers, business people, professors, you name it. And the age groups, I think the customer base is basically 35 to 53 or something in that range is the majority of the customer base. And it's driven by people that work hard and just looking for a way to deal with whatever they're dealing with. It's in the stigma of, if you smoke weed or dope, whatever the words that we use, you're kind of a lug. You don't do anything. You're just a burden on society. It's actually the total opposite. These are the most productive people, the hardworking people, some that are honest and just good humans that come in the door every day that we meet. That in a way, I guess you'd say we're helping, but cannabis has changed their lives. And I learn that every day. I'll say that I learn something new every day with people coming through the door, sharing their experiences. It's amazing.
And people, and the thing is, people want to criticize someone for walking into the dispensary and buying a pre-roll or buying an eighth of flower or buying edible. But who's criticizing someone that's buying a case of beer from the liquor store? Yeah. Who's criticizing someone that goes to the restaurant and has, 4 martinis and just so they can go to sleep and go home at night? It's, it's
or
just
even a pack of cigarettes or
for sure.
Junk food.
I was just going to say, what's different than the guy that eats? You just said it.
Listen,
you just said it.
We all know I love
He's back.
I'm working on it, though.
We're back to food again.
Listen, I've been walking every day. I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah. Just to touch on that,
getting it together.
That's why we're having the 520 event, and we had one last month, and we're having one in June and moving forward. We want it to be an experience where people come and see that it's not, you don't have to be hidden or shelled. We want people to know that, it's not that we're proud and I don't know how to explain it to a point. We just want people to know that it's okay. Come enjoy yourself.
You know what we gotta do?
Fun.
A cannabis 5K.
Oh,
I think we should do that. You know what I mean?
I'll run the water
everybody
station.
Smoking. I know you really can't have public consumption. We are going to drive 5K. But we can't smoke and drive.
I'll just drive it.
But back to the stigmatization. I think one of the things that's happening that I've noticed in the community, I want to ask where you find your responsibility and what accountability you'd be taking is our youth. I have heard from the direct source, meaning a high school student, my nephew, shout out to you, nephew, you know who you are. There was a recent crackdown in his school in Worcester where they were catching kids in the bathroom smoking vapes. And these are cannabis vapes. Yeah. What are you doing to help curb that underage consumption and maybe educate our youth on the dangers of smoking at such a young age? Because, as you know, brain development is a very
it's crucial.
sensitive subject.
Absolutely.
And brains aren't usually fully developed until 24. What are you guys doing for that?
It's another interesting subject as far as stigma goes, because people think that like it's easy access all of a sudden just because these dispensaries are open. It's just the opposite.
Right.
These places are set up, and the regulations that we have to follow to get into the dispensary. I mean, we turn down people that are 45 years old because their license is expired by one day.
Yeah,
correct.
So I mean, that's what we need to go through as business owners. In the cannabis side. It's incredible, the regulations, and it's fully justified because, we don't want the product to get in the hands of someone that's under 21.
Right.
But there's also a fine line where I actually had an encounter with a counselor from one of the Worcester schools a couple of weeks ago. It was an interesting conversation. We had just started talking about just different things and what brought me into the place that I was at. And I had mentioned, what we do and such, and she kind of frowned, and I said, I know it's not fair, and I don't say it in a bragging way. I just kind of brought it up, and she basically had told me she's a counselor, and she feels weed's making kids dumb. That was her exact words. She said, the weed's making kids dumb.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Miss Counselor, a lot of your teachers smoke bud. Anyway,
but
just be real.
But she was with 3 or 4 friends that came over and were like, don't mind her. She gets a little, sometimes. And no, it was an engaging conversation. I was learning something new. I wanted to hear her out and listen because by far we're not experts by no means. But what it did do was open up my mind to what can we do to benefit or help educate. And she's like, why don't you come to the schools? But that's where the fine line comes in. In cannabis, you have to be very careful. Your audience has to be of 21 years old. 85% of the majority have to be of that age. So you just can't go promote or walk into a school or a Boy Scout troop or whatever it is to talk about cannabis. It's not like, it's just different than a deer officer going into a school. It's not even close. Right. So there's a lot of challenges to what you're saying, and to the point of the kids with the vapes or whatever. I hear it in my hometown. My daughters will come home and tell me, Dad, this one was in the bathroom. It's actually disturbing. Yeah. And I'm going to be mean right now. To me, that falls back on the parents. It's poor parenting. I'm going to call it how it is. Don't blame the cannabis world. If you can't watch your kid and you're not going to correct your kid.
I'm with you.
There it is.
I'm with you. I mean, I got a 15-year-old son and my nephew as well. They, of course, there's peer pressure and things like that.
Absolutely. Sure.
But it all starts at the home.
Yeah. Correct. And listen, my kids know what we do for a living. His kids.
Is that not the most important thing?
Yeah, absolutely. They know. They're telling me, Dad, you wouldn't believe what I seen this kid doing it.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's refreshing to know
those
that
kids,
they're not doing it.
Yeah, and those kids have parents that are sheltering them.
Or
I've seen it myself.
Absolutely.
Or they're the parents that are telling them, oh, it's okay because mom and dad do it. Now, we never
See,
we would never.
It's never okay.
It's never okay.
You don't get to do what I do until you're paying your own bills. You got to be in your own crib, paying your own bills, and then you get to do what I do.
But that's what I see. I don't want to get carried.
No, but I think it's
a street guy. I see it's a reflection of the home. Like
absolutely. And I think it is. And I think that if you hide stuff from kids, they're going to be more curious and want to engage more. Yeah. And if you're too friendly with your kids, they're going to think they're grown before they really are and want to engage more. Right. I agree with you 100%. It starts at the home. Yeah. And it also, these kids aren't getting, like you said, they're not getting vapes from you. I know when I went in with my because I just got a haircut, so I'm with the kid today. But the other day, I had grays popping out my chin, and they still ID'd me. Right. Not only at the door before I can get into the actual area where you can purchase, but at the actual area I had to purchase. And I personally wasn't even purchasing. My friend was, but I still had to show my ID twice, which is a great fail-safe that you guys are doing. So that actually falls back on people who are going in and purchasing stuff and then distributing it most likely illegally in the streets. Right, because you're not supposed to give it to a kid.
Let's be real, like a vape, I even know our prices are really inexpensive. A 12 or a 14-year-old, sadly enough, that's using it probably isn't paying the $45, $50. Right. So they're either stealing it or borrowing it from somebody else. I mean, again, we don't have those answers. Right. And I know there is peer pressure, and there's always going to be those unfortunate situations. We've all been there. And just hopefully the kids are smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah, we hold our, obviously our store, our employees, everything accountable. And we do everything that we can, in our power to make sure that doesn't happen. I mean, like you said with the ID checks, I mean, there's multiple ID checks before you can even make a purchase inside the store. So a lot of what you're talking about is coming from the home, and it's coming from outside, and there's really not much more that we can do as business owners to prevent. I mean, we're doing everything in our power, everything in our power. And as to what Gary said, we're both parents. So we're raising and have raised our children. And so we know what our parenting style is, and we knew how to prevent that with our children. Mm-hmm. And so, the expectation is that other parents in the community do that. Unfortunately, that doesn't fall on us. If we could do more, we would, but we can't.
Yeah. And what we did doesn't mean we're experts at it. It's just, different situations, and it's unfortunate. There are some kids or youth that maybe don't have a strong support system at home, and no fault of their own. And we take that into account very seriously. It's just, it's a very tough situation, and you asked a very tough question, and I appreciate that. But there's no right answer, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Same with the religion thing. There's so many variables that play into it, but I know that we're doing everything we possibly can from a point. And the state's the biggest. They make sure we're in the guidelines because there's no second chances with the state.
Absolutely. They do it. It's the state. I mean, the state does an excellent job on the regulations. Yeah. When it comes to the diversion and use of product.
We have special training, all our bud tenders. I mean, I don't want to give you the whole, but we have special training set up through the state that everyone has to complete and go through. And I mean, it's all about diversion, as Steve just mentioned, and what to look for and what not to look for in situations like that. So,
So I mean, for our religious friends, I would like to say that, if you can trust science and medicine with, man-made things, then, there's also science and medicine medicinal research, that you can go look up and find out really how much cannabis can probably even better benefit you. And I bring that up to say, there's cancer patients who
we
are
get them all
suffering,
the time. We get them all the time.
Especially from chemotherapy. That's not easy.
Right.
So to have that little bit of relief, that's certainly something that you can provide to a family member or even yourself. Mm-hmm. What is your message to our religious friends to, try to accept
come see us.
The science that's now part of
come
cannabis
see us.
consumption.
Come talk to us. Right, we're here today because we want to meet more people in the community. We want to get our message across to people in the community. And I think you can attest the fact that we have a very nice, beautiful, big facility with a lot of employees that are fully informed. So again, educate yourself and feel free to come in. We would talk to everyone.
Let's give you information.
Gary and I, that's how we met, Manny, because I popped out of the office. I heard your voice and I wanted to come talk.
Me and my baby, I'm so loud.
But that's what we do all day. We constantly talk to customers that come in, even for someone that just comes in to buy a pre-roll or someone that comes in and has questions, whatever it is. We talk to everyone that comes in. So if you have questions, about whether it's the science or the legitimacy of it, just come talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, you could just come talk to us about anything.
That's true too.
Like whenever I can't get out the door, I find everyone interested. Everyone's got a different story. If they want to talk, that's just who we are. There's no obligation.
I think that's like, I don't know. It's just like people who consume cannabis. We just love to get to know each other and be positive vibes and have conversations.
It's a great community.
It is.
And that's why we
happy vibes.
When you come in our place, don't ever, and I want anyone listening to know, there's no pressure, and we're not going to tell you what we think. We already said that once. Right. We want you to come in, explain your situation, or maybe you already know what you want and you just want direction. Right. It's over here, there. And we're happy with that too, whether it's one pre-roll or a bag of gum, whatever your preference is. There's no, we train our staff to be themselves, but it's not what works best for our staff. It's what works best for you when you come in. And we live by that because every customer is important. Not one customer is better than the next. We treat them all the same.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And I just wanted to bring it back to the criminalization. Because we're almost out of time. Time flies when we're having fun.
Exactly.
But this is one of the most important things, particularly about the modern day cannabis industry. I can't talk to anybody in the cannabis field without bringing this part up, and that is white privilege. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, there is a huge white privilege in America. I grew up in the 90s in one of the toughest hoods here in Worcester, and I saw my uncles friends I saw a lot of people getting arrested and being put in jail. One, maybe they were selling weed. Two, maybe they were consuming weed. Either way, they want to wonder about the destruction of the American family. Weed had played a big role in that.
Absolutely.
And now there is one, and I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. Shout out to Major Bloom. One African American cannabis owner in this entire city. Yeah. I think in the entire state. There's more in the entire state.
Definitely
but definitely in Worcester, there's one.
We know him. Yeah.
And
he's a professor as well.
Amazing people. And we're gonna get him on the show soon. So shout out to Major Bloom there on Water Street. Kelly Square
you stumped me on that one.
Yeah, I know. We shouldn't be. I know. We got to be talking about cannabis in Worcester, but it's very important. I want to get your feedback. I know we got to go, Leanne. I'm so sorry, but I really need your feedback on where you stand on, knowing that the Black and brown community had suffered so much as far as legalities and criminalization up until now, where a lot of Black people and brown people are still in jail for those things.
Well, it's terrible. I'm going to be quick because I know you got to go. But even the state set up a social equity program that Major Bloom could tell you a lot about. And it's like an oxymoron. They want to help the I guess they call them underprivileged or the drug ravished community, the people that were, grew up in those areas that were ravaged by drugs and such. But it's like, you want to help them, you want to give them the first bite at the apple, so to speak, but they don't have the finances or the backing to get to that next level. And so I'm just talking from a state point of view. You're talking a prison point of view, which is more serious. I just think there's so many more corrections that need to come. And I'm not sure the people in power, I want to be careful what I say, have those answers. I'll put it that way. It probably should be coming more from the street input, should be coming per se. I was someone in the 90s that was affected by a lot that's going on. I have an issue. I had an arrest. I'll put it right out there back in the 90s for possession of marijuana. I mean,
wow.
It's real, man. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into my situation, but I'll put, unfortunately, some of my issues that I had in the 90s against anybody. I experienced it. I wore them. I went, I took the ride and had to go before the judge and get a lawyer and thought I was getting put away and, dropped $5,000 and back then was a ton of money and embarrassed my mom. I could give you the whole story, embarrass my family. And it's still on my record to this day. And I'm a 50-year-old man. Wow. You're going back 30 years ago, 32 years ago.
Right. Yeah. And you had the white privilege on top of it.
And I had the white privilege on top of it. Yeah. So, I mean, I've experienced it, so I know it as well as, I won't say that. I don't know it that well, but I've had my battles.
But basically from going to being arrested for cannabis to being paid for cannabis, what a beautiful ride.
It's kind of a full circle thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, and I think that's the intent of the state. I think the state was intended to make a program or to build a program that was going to be equitable and fair. Yeah. I don't think that they thought everything through necessarily, because there are a lot of issues as far as, the financial, the capital, and getting the organizational. Yeah. And so it's all well and good to put it on paper and say, like, let's give something back. But if it's not fully thought out and fully laid out properly, you're not doing a service to the people that you're trying to help.
Right, exactly. That's all. We could talk. This is a topic we could definitely talk about all day.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to have you guys back. I can't wait to work with you more. This is just the beginning. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm rocking a Cannabis shirt now, so we good.
Hey Manny, can I just say we truly appreciate you having us here. Like this is amazing. It's been a great time.
You guys are all great.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
And before we go, let's just hit on a couple of the events you got coming up. I know. Sure. Was it May 26th?
So we
got 5/20, your birthday.
5/20, your birthday. We got a
Manny's block party.
That's not Manny's 5/20 block party on
11
that
to 7, 11. Well, we're open at 8, but 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. All the deals, the specials, food truck, music, merch, giveaways, vendor pop-ups. And then we have the Smash Brothers going on June 30th.
That's going to be fun.
Smash Brothers tournament. It's going to be huge.
And actually, a quick shout out too before I forget on next Sunday, the 21st. Sure, yes, we just started. We're doing a small sponsorship with the Walk for the Homeless, the 38th annual Walk for the Homeless
out of
Elm Park.
Yeah.
It's 1:00 next Sunday. So we're working with them.
I think I could be there. I don't know how hungover I'm going to be. I'll try to be there.
We have some community events coming up, and we do work with them, but we can touch on that the next time. But we're very involved with a lot.
And where can everybody find you?
Tell them, Steve.
Cannabis website's cannabisofworcester.com. We're 56 Millbrook Street in Worcester. And
easy access right off the highway, too, by the way.
30 seconds off the highway, right off.
You got social media?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So Instagram, Facebook is both Cannabis of Worcester.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, all one word. Yep.
Yeah,
So find us out. Look, absolutely.
All you got to remember is Cannabis. Worcester,
If you
throw
want-
an oven between all that, and you're good to go.
And
You're
there
going to
you
find
go.
them wherever you want to go. Look,
Good
thank
to
you
go.
guys so much. I'm so sorry we're out of time, but I'm not so sorry that we are going to be establishing such a great relationship and working more
Absolutely. You guys
moving
are all
forward. I'm
awesome.
sure.
Thank you, everybody. for sure.
But that's all the time we got. So
All right,
now
man.
it's time to say goodbye. I love you guys.
Let's go.
Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
tuning
Give it
in.
up, Manny. Come on.
I'm Manny.
I'm Gary.
And I'm Steve, Cannabis of Worcester.
Cannabis of Worcester, everybody. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you real soon.